So this is the problem that you sent me, and you've done a great job of filling in all the coordinates for these points for f of x equals x. And then you've done a good job of filling in here for g of x equals x plus 3. So now let's go over to the graphing grid and click on the plus to magnify the graphing area so I can see it better. So this arrow is the straight line tool. This one is the curved line tool. So it's called the 4-point cubic tool to make curved shapes. Over here is make it solid or make it dashed. So first you want to make f of x solid. So I'm going to click here on the 4-point cubic tool. And then your first point you have is -2, -2. So I'm going to use my mouse to get the dot over -2, -2, and then click my mouse. Then I move my mouse to -1, -1, and see how it moves the line. Then I click on -1, -1. Then I move my mouse to 0, 0, and click. And then I move it to 1, 1 and click, and you see that it turns color after 4 points because it doesn't need the 5th point to tell where the line goes. So this is the first line of the f of x, and it's done. So I want to, well, I'm not going to save it yet until I've made the other line. So I'm going to come look over here at the g of x, and it tells me in the instructions to make that line dashed. So I'm going to switch to the dashed and do the 4-point tool again and come over here to -2, 1 and use my mouse to place the dot at -2, 1 and click to fix it there. Then at -1, 2, I move my mouse to that point and click, and then to 0, 3 and click, and 1, 4 and click, and there's my second line. But that's the one I wanted to be dashed. So I'm going to tell it to be dashed, and this is the one that I wanted to be solid. So I'm not quite sure why it switched them, but I fixed it. So now I'm going to save, and here's my two lines. F of x is y equals x. G of x is y equals x plus 3. And then I click check answer, and that's what it was looking for. So let me know if you still have questions.